comment to me is saying that, we know you've gone to city council meetings, you sign in when you go. And we don't sign in. The only thing you fill out is a form so that you can speak. So they say your name and everything.
Speak up a little bit for me, Popeye.
Sorry about that. When you go to the council meetings, you have to fill out like a form.
Yeah, and they're using that now to send the FBI to your house. That's FBI now going over city council sign-ins. Boy, that's useful info. Go ahead.
And that's the only way that they could have gotten my info either, because there's no... Through Federal Jack, I've always tried to kind of remain a little bit somewhat anonymous just to protect my wife. Not for me, but to protect my wife because she can't protect herself. And I know that they pray and go after the weak, and they go after the weak people and the family members. And that's why I called back to the FBI and I complained to them. And I said, look, how do I know that these aren't fake FBI agents? Because the lady I spoke to on the phone said, well, they should have given you a card. And I said, well, I did ask for one, and they told me just to call the hotline number if I had any tips. I said, how do I know these guys are FBI? How do I know they're not going to break into my house and hurt my wife? I said, so I'm going to, I filed the complaint, and, of course, they haven't called me back. I don't expect a call back, to be honest with you. I honestly, looking back at this, I think it was more of a, look, you're opening your mouth. We don't like what you're doing. Shut up. And I won't tolerate that. The more you threaten me, anybody that knows me, the more you threaten me, the harder I fight. So, that's why I was willing to let you guys use my real name, because obviously the feds know who I am now, so there's no point in hiding. But I will say to any feds that are listening, if you threaten my family, or you threaten my wife, and you hurt my wife, then there will be no stopping what I will do to end the NWO. Non-violently, of course, but I will not stop at all. So don't threaten my wife. Don't come here, because they knew she was disabled. And that was the real creepy part, Alex, is that they knew certain things about my life. And I don't care, again, about me, but you threaten my wife. As you know, you've had some phone calls. You threaten my wife, I have a real problem with that.
What else did they say to you while they were there?
They acted friendly, but they were, I could see the guy was eyeing me up and down. I have tattoos, so he goes, oh, you were in the Coast Guard, huh? What was your job in the Coast Guard? And I looked at him, and I was like, I was a firefighter. And I wouldn't go into any other details because I didn't even need to give him that information, But since he was obviously digging, I figured I would just give him a brief bit, and that's all. And then they tried, I had a bandage on my arm because I recently had surgery to fix some nerve damage from when I was in the military. And, because I'm a 100% disabled veteran, and they knew that too. They knew that I didn't work. They knew I was disabled. They knew my wife was disabled. So obviously, obviously I struck a nerve.
Well, you do work. You're up 24 hours a day sometimes, literally putting out hundreds of videos. You're on fire. We have an article from the Activist Post. Mother of 5 gets FBI visit for exercising First Amendment. It's also up on Infowars.com. You can just type that in and put Infowars.com. Into the end of it and find it. And we're going to skip ahead in the video for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers here and actually show people the FBI at the Austin mother's door. And they said, you went to a anti-war rally. Why are you doing that? Are you a terrorist? So in America, in Austin, Texas, you do not exercise your First Amendment or you get an FBI visit. I mean, what does it come to in this country?
We're just a police state now. The country I remember growing up in and the country I took an oath to defend is dead. It died a long time ago, and it's got a huge sword in its heart. It says New World Order Rothschild. It's horrible. And the people are so dumbed down through mind control, and they use so many different forms of it now. People are they don't care. You have Bob come on Fridays and tell people, look, this is the future of the economy, pay attention, and yet you still have morons that are more worried about Lady Gaga or MTV than their future. Oh, Barack Obama will take care of it. The fact that there's still Obama zombies out there just blows my mind.
Well, you're absolutely right. Bob Chapman, what's your take on what's happened to this individual who's one of the founding members, Sean Justice, known as Popeye?
Well, I think it's par for the course, and the information that they've gleaned from your records is to be able to make them be a familiar figure to you, somebody that you can trust, which is them, and so they can get more information out of you. And that's why they do that. But they've had, they've gone over your dossier, which I'm sure the government has. And that's why they're doing, asking those kinds of questions about your military service and so on. They know the answers, but they have to bring it up to you so you'll trust them.
Well, also, they have federal laws that are unconstitutional, but they still do it. They'll say lying to the FBI, they could charge you and put you in prison if you had been in the Coast Guard and then lied to them about it. So that's another thing that they do. It's just incredible. But, hey, don't worry, FBI agents. The banks have stolen all the money. The government's poisoning your children's water supply. And you think you're part of the winning team. So good job. Good job.
Yeah, I did tell them about that. I gave them a lecture about fluoride, actually, when they brought up the city council meeting.
Was it real funny to them? Was it real funny?
He was smirking throughout. Like, he didn't laugh, but he had that little smirk that, that government agent smirk that they get.
It's like, hey, I'm a government agent. Radiation doesn't hurt me. DU doesn't hurt me. Fluoride in my kid's water doesn't hurt me. He's God. You're not. You're a little piece of trash.
That's basically...
You're just a disabled veteran piece of trash to him. Remember, the government hates veterans more than anybody in their own internal documents. Correct, Bob?
He took note of that. Not to interrupt you, Alex, but he did take note of that, too, because I have 2 stickers in my window that says Afghanistan veteran and Iraq veteran, because I served during both conflicts, and that kind of piqued his interest.
Well, yeah, because you're an evil terrorist. I mean, in their internal documents, they say veterans are the #1 threat. They hate you.
Do you have a low or malfunctioning thyroid gland? Did you know that fluoride from toothpaste or water can damage your thyroid? Did you know that your thyroid controls your intelligence, mood, metabolism, energy, and body heat levels? You can support a return to normal thyroid function by stopping your exposure to the toxic elements fluoride, chlorine, bromide, and mercury, and by detoxifying the same. The body's #1 detoxifier of these elements is glutathione. Unheated whey protein from grass-fed cows is the #1 superfood for raising glutathione. One World Whey is the first ever truly cold-processed whey protein from grass-fed cows. One World Whey is undenatured and has the highest bioactivity of any whey protein on the market. The health benefits are real, and the taste is amazing. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Alex Jones here with key information. The U.S. government is a Ponzi scheme that relies on the Treasury continuously selling large amounts of government bonds to foreign central banks. With Japan about to become a seller of U.S. bonds in order to rebuild its own nation, and the U.S. antagonizing China by calling them currency manipulators, the Federal Reserve, which is already buying about 70% of U.S. Treasuries, will soon be the only buyer left of U.S. Treasuries. Our friends at the National Inflation Association believe that the U.S. dollar will soon become worthless, and Americans will see the purchasing power of their incomes and savings destroyed. I strongly urge my fellow Americans to sign up for the free NIA newsletter at www.inflation.us. If you are sick and tired of the economic propaganda in the mainstream media, sign up for free at inflation.us to learn the economic truth that the mainstream media ignores.
Never buy home canning jar lids again. No kidding. When you buy Tadler reusable canning lids once, you'll never buy canning lids ever again. Safely store emergency preparedness foods for years. Traditional metal lids are single-use throwaways containing BPA. But Tadler reusable canning lids are guaranteed to last a lifetime when used as designed for home canning. Tadler lids are made with a USDA and FDA-approved food-grade plastic, safe for direct food contact, and contain no BPA. Tadler lids are dishwasher safe, usable with standard pressure or water bath canning, eliminate food spoilage from acid corrosion, fit standard manufactured mason jars, are indefinitely reusable, and are proudly made in the USA. Place orders at reusablecanninglids.com or call 1-877-747-2793. 877-747-2793. Call 877-747-2793 or go to reusablecanninglids.com. That's reusablecanninglids.com for Tadler reusable canning lids, the original since 1976.
See, what the FBI, the TSA, and all the rest of them can't get is when a government goes corrupt, they now are agents of that corrupt system. So no matter what the corrupt system tells them to do, they keep following it because they're the good guys. Now, we couldn't find the original video. It was online, but it was taken down, unedited. I have one somebody else grabbed and put images into, but I want to play 30 seconds or so. This FBI agent's there saying, well, we know you went to this anti-war rally, and we just want to ask if you know about any plans for violence. And this, this is a mother, whole 9 yards, a professional. I remember her bio. And she just says, well, I'm going to take the fifth on that. I wouldn't even have done that because I mean self-incrimination. I says, none of your business, pal. First Amendment. I mean, what do you know about Anwar al-Awlaki secretly hanging out at the Pentagon? What do you know about the FBI running all this stuff? I mean, just leave. You're not dealing with somebody here that doesn't know your bosses are the terrorists. I mean, let's just get down to brass tacks here. The game's over. Let's play part of this clip. Here's the video audio of the FBI here in Austin.
Nothing.
You'll just leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm still curious. Go ahead and ask away.
Well, I've asked the question. Do you know of any plans to destroy any property?
I'm going to plead silence on that. Next question.
Okay. That's it. I mean, we just want to make sure everybody stays safe.
Stay safe. Okay, great. Great.
Do you know of any concerns that you would have concerning us being here?
Yes, I'm very concerned that I get a knock on my door from the FBI. Very concerned about it, and I think a lot of people will want to hear about this.
Do you have any questions for us?
Well, who's your next person that you're going to stop to here in Austin or in Texas?
I can't tell you that.
You can't tell me that.
If you want our card, this is...
All right, that's enough. It goes on and on. The point here is that it's been confirmed that Obama has ordered the Border Patrol not to arrest illegals, only to do a few for a small public quota. Total war, crime, mass murder going on, mass graves every few days being found. Nobody cares. You wonder why people don't have more anti-war protests. Folks, my guys had the police in Pittsburgh come because they tried to go talk to the military. And we put it all out in Police State 4, Rise of FEMA. Politely, hey, can we talk to your press person? We were given this number. We want to talk about the military being involved in this. And they said, no, just get out of here. Then the police called my office, called the guys at the hotel, knew where they were, and said, yeah, we're investigating you for a plan to blow us up. And that you guys were running around, sneaking around. It was all lies. I mean, it's like the message is you're bad because you speak out. In closing, talking to Sean Justice, who got this FBI visit, more people need to start their own We Are Change, Federal Jack, Info Warriors, Tyranny Response Team. More people need to get involved, start blogs, encounter George Soros and the feds. They are scared. You guys have confronted, Sean, a lot of globalists with serious questions. Name some of the folks that you guys have gone and been real journalists and asked questions of.
We got Fareed Zakaria when he was down here at FIU giving a speech about globalism. We tag teamed him with We Are Change Tampa, and we did the same thing at an Al Gore event. And the two of them, when just like the rest of these globalists, when you confront them, like Fareed Zakaria, for example, we did it in a wave. We had one person stand up videotaping and a couple others hidden videotaping. And then while he confronted and got thrown out, the next person would stand up so that the topic would not be able to go away.
Yeah, they know you're not violent. They've assessed you. They're scared of you confronting globalist kingpins. Bob Chapman, we're on the march. The globalist empire is on the run.
And you're absolutely right. And what a great program.
Well, we got to stand together and hang separate. I know there are good people in the FBI. Choose which side you're on now. Don't rationalize and play games anymore. People confronting Al Gore over lies about climate change. You don't deserve an FBI visit for that. America is being taken over by the globalists. You know what, Sean Justice, known as Popeye, federaljack.com, I want to commend you for what you're doing. Let's see more people get involved in Federal Jack across the country. Just as Luke got intimidated and attacked, 4 or 5 years ago, and I supported him, look where he's at. Our listeners, The answer is more people standing up, and we'll be in contact with you, Popeye, and you too, Bob Chapman.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. Lou Dobbs is coming up in 1 minute. Infowars.com. It was powerful. Did I tell you Lou Dobbs is coming up 1 minute?
For listening to
oh,
GCN.
yeah. Talk about the New World Order.
Visit
Guess he's evil, too.
GCNlive.com
Oh,
today.
yeah. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk